Welcome back, everybody, to the Walker Classic 2017 here in Littleton, Colorado. We're on round 4, the last one before the cut for the Star Wars Destiny tournament here at the Walker Classic. On your left, we have Antonio Juan, and on the right, we have Darth Samwise. So we have a really great matchup here. Carl, you want to tell us what we got?
Oh, yes. We have the classic emo kids deck, which is the Anakin Skywalker before he's Darth Vader and Kylo Ren versus Luke Skywalker and Kanan Jarrus.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you here, but that was just a stellar roll in for Sam. It's a shame that wasn't his first damage roll, but he's going to pick the initiative, use that Emperor's Throne Room, lots of specials on there, and give Juan 2 shields for Kanan. Oh, yeah. Sorry, for Luke.
For Luke, yes, because he's going to need them. The whole point of the Emo Kids deck is to bring out as much damage as fast as it can. So he needs those shields to make sure Luke lasts long enough to be useful.
Looking over these deck lists, is there anything interesting in there that you want to take a look at?
I will say that Antonio's deck is literally the Force at work. It's got an ancient lightsaber in there, some Force speeds, ally is the Force, do or do not. It truly feels like a pure Jedi build.
And speaking of that Force speed, here comes a Force speed out onto Kanan. Turn 1.
That's where it needs to
That's
be.
Where, yeah.
Kanan only has 1 die for him, so he needs Kanan to provide some value. That Force speed is a perfect open for
And
him.
speaking of Force speed, there's a special rolling on the Force speed on Kylo Ren. Everybody's rolling well right now.
Yeah, they are. Well, let's hope for Kanan's best.
Yep, Kanan Jarrus rolling in off screen. Probably going to put those dice back into the pool. Focus and a disrupt. That Force speed given the focus. Not nearly as good, but the focus will give him whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Hit that 3 damage side on Luke, maybe.
In this case, I probably would re-roll that focus. I'd rather have the 2 turns. An action unmodified is a huge action for that deck.
Rolling in Luke, drawing a card.
That list thing.
And Luke rolled nothing. He got a shield and resource. In that deck, he's got his 2 resources there. Looking over his list, he doesn't have a lot of weapons in there. He's only got an ancient lightsaber. Makashi training on 2. That's another on 2. I don't really see much in the sense of weaponry to where he wants to have those resources.
And speaking of weaponry, I don't really see. I don't see a holocron out there. Is this a deck where Sam would mulligan for one of his hologrons?
Yes, it is. Just to get that extra speed and advantage. Although him starting with the 4 speed is pretty good enough. It'll get him moving forward, which is why he's happy he rolled that 4 speed on his open.
Yes, and indeed, he doesn't look like he has holding a holocron in his hand either.
And Antonio just used a do or do not, allowing him to get that 2 or 3 damage off of Luke.
3 damage. That looks like the 3. Yes,
3 damage off of Luke. That's a great open for him. That's
fantastic.
Roll.
With a little Luke Skywalker mini there for some good
is?
juju. Yes. Now, welcome if you're all in the Twitch chat. You know the drill for round 4 here. If you're able to correctly guess the outcome of this game for Luke and Kanan versus Darth Samwise's Emo Kids, Kylo and Vader, you'll be able to win this round some ATSD cards, some alternate art ATSD Destiny cards, exclusive to the Walker Classic. Now, in this matchup, do you think that Kylo will be able to finish what Vader started and come out ahead of the Jedi?
Well, from what we're seeing right now, I'm giving the open to the Jedi. They're doing pretty good. The whole overconfidence to force the reroll, that's huge, though. That takes that damage off the table. Well, potentially.
Because it is a reroll. It could be just as bad, but indeed, there's a blank coming off for the second half of Overconfidence, and just a shield off of Luke, which he could focus into a damage, but he that's losing a die.
It is. But
losing an action.
Losing that die for 3 damage is worth it. There we go.
He doesn't really lose an action, though, because it is Kanan. He just resolves a die. Resolves a die.
Only Kanan's dice.
That's true. That's true. And he blanks it.
And he just blanked it back. Exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just going to pitch and roll it. I got to go for broke.
Absolutely.
Rolled into a resource,
Only
which
one
isn't
resource.
that bad.
Now, is Sam well equipped to use that force speed that he has out there? It doesn't really seem like he's got a lot of stuff that he needs actions on.
No, not until he rolls really well. On the
Looks
dice
like he
where
might
it's
do.
worth it. That's
a
good
Kylo
enough.
special. Now, I'm not seeing more than a one-cost ability or one-cost events there in
There it
Antonio's
goes.
hand.
That's going to be a 0 off that special.
Yep.
That's a good way to avoid that damage right there.
DJ Big Russ in the chat asking rooting for Luke, Kanan, and Harley Z2K has gotten both right, and he's rooting for Emo Kids for the Kylo and Vader. 2 damage into Luke, popping those shields right back off. And it looks like he might claim the battlefield there.
And nothing for it.
Nothing for
dice
it.
are off the table.
Yep.
He got a resource, and I believe they're going to reset. For this open, it looks like the Jedi are in the lead.
Took 3 damage down off of Vader, and none of Sam's characters are as durable as Antonio's either. They don't roll the shields. They don't have as many raw hit points as Luke does.
Right.
So there's, I think in terms of just like a long game, Antonio can win that. But Sam is well-equipped to put out the damage and put it out fast. I still don't see a holocron in his hand, although I do see a force choke, which he's going to be putting out onto Kylo Ren. A little bit of control, which I think he needs.
I think he needs anything to help that Kylo card perform better. That Kylo is one of the weaker of all the cards, but the reason why he's in the deck is because of his special. It has the potential to blow people out.
A 4 speed special and 2 damage rolled in, and there's another Kylo special and a 2 damage Kylo. And some blanks. It happens. There's Resolving Kanan's die, 2 more onto Vader. And Luke rolls in. He draws a card.
And this is a roll and resolve, Luke, since
This
he's got the 2
is.
actions. So this is a first roll.
And 2 focuses. Doesn't have anything that he can use those focuses on.
Oh.
Sam's probably hoping he could focus his own blanks with those.
And apparently, that was...
Power of the Force? I'm not 100% sure. Can we get confirmation on the table of what that last card Antonio played was? Trust the Force. There was what he played, and we're going to get confirmation on exactly what that does. Sam is blanking all 4 of his dice to blank that 2 damage coming in from Antonio.
I like that play. That was reroll any number of blue dice.
With
That's
the
what I
Trust
had
the
to think about.
Force.
Yeah, that was a good play.
Mm-hmm. A lot of blanks showing out here.
A lot of literal using of the Force. Like I was
Yes.
saying, like, his deck is the very epitome of the Jedi deck. He's out everything Force related. Yeah, we're gonna do it all.
Now we're gonna just redo it. And here comes some more damage. There's that 3 side again from Luke. He's been hitting that often.
I know, it's a beautiful thing for him to see.
But there's Vader in. He hasn't even rolled in yet.
Oh, but there's
Vader's
got
3.
damage.
Vader's 3 and his 1/4 damage, and he's got some cards that he can use to re-roll.
I guarantee right now Antonio's wishing he had really good cards in hand. Oh, but that was phenomenal. We're gonna get rid of that damage.
Which card was that?
The guard?
The
His
guard.
He just played. That's an alternate art guard.
Aha, yes, where he can remove a dice showing melee to remove that many dice.
That's correct.
Not a great reroll. There's some disrupt. There's a 4 speed, but not a lot that he can use that 4 speed for, I would say. Defensive stance here, putting 2 more shields back onto Luke. It does seem like Sam is falling behind the damage race here.
He is, which is surprising because that's the bigger damage deck.
It is. And Antonio Luke just hitting those 3 sides over and over and over again. Sam was able to disrupt that resource, but I'm not sure if he can...
I think that was a huge play, disrupting the resource, and that's because now those cards in Antonio's hand are useless.
That's true. There's not a ton of zero-cost cards in blue. Most of them are 1.
Yeah, exactly.
1, maybe 2, but it's just really important to keep those decks light.
That was the right play at the right time to get rid of that second 4 speed onto his character. Now he's cardless, but he's got both his 4 speeds down, so they don't have a chance of being removed.
Gaining a resource with the 4 speed in his second action. Claim the battlefield. I think we're going to see a reset again, indeed.
But now we have a much faster Kanan.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, no, it's scary. I mean, Kanan's fast enough to begin with.
But now he's got double 4 speed. We're making sure that Kanan does the business today.
Drive back up there. Sam holding a Force Lightning, and he has the 4 resources to get it out.
No, but I think he's going to save his resources for all those manipulation cards he's at in hand.
I would probably agree with that. He does need to control and get back up on top.
That was a great open for him.
That was a great roll. 4 damage and 4 speed. I mean, he can use the 4 speed special there to get all of those dice done at once.
He's just going to have to wait on Antonio to roll in so he can force choke one of those dice back. Oh, wow. That was a big play.
What's he got?
That was the Battle of Wills card, which means that we're going to roll both of our characters, and whoever has the most damage stays on the table, and the opponent's dice are removed from the table.
Ooh.
That effectively shuts down Luke.
Sam pairing a resource off a card there to get the Luke's 3 damage off. Kanan rolling a 4 speed, not surprising when 2 of those are on the table. Sam playing Feel Your Anger takes 2 dice off with the 2 blanks showing. Chooses to pull one of Luke's, which is a good play because it's the higher damage die.
Oh, without a doubt, if you can mitigate that Luke die, that's your path to victory.
Absolutely. Sam is still sitting on a lot of damage, but he hasn't resolved any of it yet. 1, resolving his Force Speed to get 2 actions. He's going to pull one of those specials off. Pull that Sam's Force Speed special off as well, and he has 1 more action in the tent. Playing Makashi Training on Luke Skywalker. Give him a lot of modified sides there, a lot of big modified sides to really help Luke's damage dice stick in a big way. One credit to pay for Kylo's 4 damage.
An amazing trade of a credit for all that damage.
Absolutely. No, it's great.
I'm surprised that choke is still on the table.
He's had... I know, it's interesting that he hasn't used that to mitigate some of Antonio's cards. Because... or some of Antonio's dice. Instead, he's chosen to burn some of his cards instead.
Mm-hmm.
I guess some of the ones that he's gotten are larger swings than that single Force choke. And they reset again. Sam finally able to put some damage in onto Luke, and not much done there from Antonio in terms of damage, but I definitely think he put himself in a better position. Another Force Speed on Kanan and Makashi Training on Luke. I feel like we're poised to see a huge hit come off of Antonio's dice here in this round.
And there's the Ancient Lightsaber to heal that 2 damage.
It's just dirty. It's just dirty no matter what Sam does. That's the power of the Jedi decks, is they're really, really well poised to play like a long game and then strike out when you least expect it in weird and unexpected ways. Now, is there anything in Antonio's hand that could be just waiting for a Kylo special to turn the tables?
We'll have to here's our chance to find out. Nothing.
I think there's a weapon in there. Is that a Shoto or something?
On the far... No, I could tell you unfortunately, there is no Shoto in his deck. There's definitely Makashi Training in hand.
But the
we
most...
also see a Trust.
Right, but the most that he's got out there is a 2 cost. So
yes.
Kylo's special isn't really going to give him a chance. Isn't really going to give Sam a chance to put any big damage in there. But Vader's special, on the other hand, that's out there and that can.
And the fact that he's rolling Luke right now? Ooh, wow.
Yeah, that is what, 9 damage showing right there?
That was a huge Luke roll. It's a good thing he's getting rid of one of these Luke dice.
And there's the focus. The other focus on Luke die, which makes that damage useless. So what's Sam's play here, Carl, to get back into the game? Get back into the race? I think he just needs to put it out.
Yeah, it's time to put the damage in.
Pitching that card to reroll draw. A lot of modified sides, and again, no base. No base melee.
Oh,
and there's an alternate isolation, I believe.
Isolation, that was a huge play. Removing that
Pulling
Luke
that
die.
focus out. So you can't even focus Kanan to his base side and get those big modifiers off.
Nope.
He's got to pray for the reroll here.
But the good thing is he pitched the deflection, which is useless in this matchup.
Right. It's just reroll fodder. That's one of the things I love about Destiny, is that no card is useless because you could always get a reroll out of him.
Well,
He's got 4 actions there and nothing to do with him.
Well, we know for a fact what he's going to do is roll that cane until it shows up as a damage die.
We got to know, what did Sam pull out of the deck there? Pulled a My Ally is the Force.
That was a critical pull. That My Ally is the Force is what was going to enable a lot of damage. That took away 2 damage from this combat.
Right. And he also managed to put another damage onto Luke. And then there's Vader also putting in another 3. Sam's suddenly back in this.
I think
that's
so.
the swing that he needed.
I'm hoping Antonio uses those 4 turns. There we go. There's our 4 turns. First pitch. Get a 2 damage, and then he's at least back in
He's got to get something. I mean, I would dump my whole hand to get that damage out on the field. He's got to re-roll it again.
Yep. He just pitched to re-roll it, hoping.
Not sure what he's getting because he's rolling it off screen. Pitching again. He must not be getting that base. And finally, there's the fourth one. There's the 4th action. Now, if Sam has... And it's not even, but even if Sam had it, he could have, if there's something in there that lets him... Sam doesn't have any mitigation cards. But at the same time, if he did...
Yeah, it would have been
absolutely dirty for Antonio to pitch his whole hand and then just to get struck out from under him.
And he's claiming doing 3 more damage.
Yep,
almost
3, 6, 9 to 10 damage onto Juan's Luke Skywalker. That was a huge swing. I think Sam just put, 8 damage into Luke that turn?
That was 8 damage into Luke that turn. That was a huge
And we
play.
reset.
And all that wasted damage from Juan, that does not bode well for him. Because had that damage went through, it would have finished off that Darth Vader.
But he's pitching the ancient... Is he pitching the ancient lightsaber? Looks like he's not.
Interesting choice.
Juan backtracking on his decision there. Yeah, that's interesting. What do you think the thinking is?
I can only assume his thinking at that time was, I want to find a way to move that lightsaber over to Kanan versus put it back in my deck.
Right.
But I think that 2 hit points was very relevant. I would gladly have taken that.
Yeah, no, I would absolutely agree. I mean, if any of those dice roll special, that's it. That's it for Luke Skywalker.
And he had the ability to put that in his deck and then get that card, potentially get to draw the card back later.
I know.
Oh, no, you can't shuffle his deck.
It's an interesting play, but let's see. You see anything in Antonio's hand that could put him back?
That is unique.
And there's a 3-for-1 from Vader. If Antonio can't mitigate this turn, then that's it. It looks like he's just rolling Luke in. So that means he's nothing you can do. Yep. In this case, I think he'd just roll. Oh, there's the ancient lightsaber. There we go.
Good answer.
Yep, good answer.
He healed. That's the same heal we were looking forward to seeing.
Yes. There's the ancient lightsaber heal. Why didn't do that after Sam claimed the battlefield to give himself a free action? Because now Sam's way ahead and he's just going to do that 3 damage anyway, putting him at 1.
But it puts him to 1, which means he's alive versus he was dead.
Yes.
So now Luke can actually roll and be relevant, which is ideally what should happen right now. Although, where I, Sam, if Luke rolls really well...
We must have missed a damage somewhere. Adam, you're going to have to ask the table. Tell us how Luke just died there. We were showing 1 damage off.
But he healed for 2.
He says he resolved 3 damage, but I guess he healed for 2. There's still a 1 in there that I think we're missing somewhere. Looks like we were correct. Luke is still alive. Antonio maybe being a little pessimistic there.
I think so. I think he's given up a little too soon. He's in there. He's got a chance.
He's
not out yet.
We saw Sam come right back. It's possible that Juan could too. I mean, with another big swing off of Luke's dice, which haven't rolled yet.
Right, and now's the time. He's a dead man walking, so there's no reason not to roll those dice.
And there's Kylo's special, which I think Sam's just going to resolve.
Well,
because we're looking at Antonio's deck list. There's no 0 cost in there, so Kylo is going to do 1 damage to Luke when he resolves that special.
That's correct. The question is he going to burn the time right now to resolve the special and hope? Because he did get a 0 before. So now he's gambling on himself. Will I hit it?
There's no 0 cost in Antonio's deck.
There was a 0 cost in Antonio's deck.
Not according to the deck list.
He had the force speed in his hand that he showed him for the first time. That's how Kylo did no damage.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So
Interesting.
Sam's already had that experience of I drew a 0 off this.
Oh, those aren't the point. Those aren't the point cost stuff on those. I'm reading the deck list here wrong. That's my bad, everybody. I mean, I don't know. Seeing as Antonio just removed that Kylo die, I would have resolved it as soon as possible.
Right.
Just get it.
But I can understand why Sam didn't.
Right.
Ooh,
in this case, I might just claim the battlefield.
Oh, there we go. Now that illusion will buy him time because right now he's dead. That Luke die would kill Vader, which is why. Oh, he guarded away the dice. He used the Luke die to guard away the Vader's dice.
That's a big one.
The claim of the base to do the 3 damage.
Yep.
That was a huge play. Because now Sam's out of dice.
That's a big one. I don't know. If I'm Sam, I might have just claimed early once Kanan's dice were gone.
That's correct.
Claimed early and get the kill because now he doesn't have the option. Right now it's going to take one more turn.
But he's at least going first in the turn.
Exactly. So he can just roll and claim if he wants.
Although I wouldn't.
Right, because Kanan's still got a lot of dice that can kill
and
his Vader.
Vader's at 8 of 3, so we gotta wait for Antonio to show us 3 damage on the table before Sam's even gonna worry about it.
Right.
Ideally, Sam's first bet is to roll Vader, on top of the fact that he's got a Force Illusion down there to protect whatever Sam rolls the first time.
And remind me, Carl, what's Force Illusion gonna do?
Force Illusion is that whatever damage you're about to take, prevent that damage and instead mill your deck for the amount of cards equal to that damage.
I see. Well, it might be a moot point anyway if Vader rolls literally anything. There's a special re-rolled into a special. And which he's gonna do. Kill Luke right off the bat.
That kills Luke dead.
Does put Vader down, but that's the thing about Vader. He hurts himself to really hurt the opponent.
And knocking out that Luke was a big pivotal moment.
Because now he has 2. Even if they aren't fully alive, he still has 2 characters versus 1, and Kanan doesn't have weapons on him.
No.
Because Antonio has lost his damage dealer. Whereas Sam, although Kylo doesn't do very much, he still does damage. And that Force Choke is control as well.
Exactly. Kylo has a Force Choke. He's got at least a way in.
And there's a holocron. I'm assuming he's going to try to get that Force Lightning out with it.
That's correct. Get that freebie.
Uh-huh. Sam's been holding on to that holocron for ages.
At this point, I feel like pitching that deflect that's not going to do anything. It said, I think he's doing do or do not. I think he's resolving the die.
And there's the 1 damage. There's 10. Sam mills his deck to get 2 damage off. And Sam looks like he's getting his deck a little low, though.
It is. He's definitely running his deck low in this process. But he's got enough damage on the table now to where all he's got to do is finish out a Kanan, and that's pretty much.
Well, that's a dastardly one. He's got 2 specials. He's got a Kylo special. He has a Kylo 1 damage, and he has a Force Choke special. He can always resolve that holocron special as well at the end of the turn and get a freebie Force Lightning for next round. There's a Force Speed special, but with only a Force Speed out there, the only thing that Antonio can do is play cards.
Yeah, at this point in time, what we're going to see Antonio go ahead and claim 2 actions this round. Use some of it to put down that sword, the ancient lightsaber he just picked up, and then on the end of that second action, he's going to claim and then pass the turn back and hope that Kylo and Vader don't finish him off this round, which is what I see happening.
Although Sam is going to Force Choke that to a blank, and Antonio's not even going to have that option. 1 damage to Kanan and blank that Force Speed, and then the Kylo special is going to take a look at his hand. Maybe he'll hit the ancient lightsaber. That would be... And he does.
Yes, he does.
He hits the ancient lightsaber, which is going to take, I believe, another 3.
Two.
Another 2. Another 2 into Antonio's poor Kanan.
Who now wields an ancient lightsaber.
Kylo just hit him and was like, here you go, buddy.
Exactly.
That's strong. That ancient lightsaber is always strong, but Sam's proving the aggro power that you talked about. And there's claim. And he can resolve that force speed into 2 actions, but it doesn't have anything to do with them. Changing to the special. Doing 3 more and 1 more. Man, 7 damage in 1 turn. And it's not even, none of it's coming off of melee. It's all coming off of specials. Yeah, it's incredible. He's pitching his other force speed to be able to draw another card next turn. Also pitching his enrage. He doesn't need that anymore. 2 resources back up, and we reset. There's another Force Lightning in Sam's hand, and another Isolation, which I think he's going to use to keep his Vader alive.
Definitely, because you can only isolate the 1 die, but there's only 2 dies, unfortunately, on Antonio's deck that are doing any damage, and that's his character die and the Ancient Lightsaber.
And the other Ancient Lightsaber now.
Yeah.
Which means that Antonio has gotten all the way down to the bottom of his deck. So Antonio really doesn't have many options left.
No, that's it. This is do or die right here.
He has to hope and pray for godly rolls.
Well, for the good news is he's gonna swing, get some godly rolls out of those Ancient Lightsabers, and tuck them under his deck to gain
no, there goes Vader's special again, and he doesn't have any control that he can do with that 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 off of it, and he just pitches it right there, I think. No, he's healing 2 Ancient Lightsabers.
You can only heal 1 at a time. It's going to be action heal 1. So he has to heal 1 Ancient Lightsaber right now.
Which is good. He keeps himself alive for that Vader special, which I think Sam's just going to pop out as soon as he possibly can.
Looks like he's about to roll. He's like, my Vader special's good. It's staying there.
And he can tell Antonio doesn't have anything that he can do about it.
And that shows the 6 damage.
That's it.
That ends the game.
That's it. Now, Antonio could have healed the 2 Ancient Lightsaber, but I think that's just prolonging the inevitable, right? And there's the deflect. The one deflect. I know. Come on, Sam, buddy.
No, you can't even have that damage.
You can't even have the 1 damage on that.
And now, him showing only 4 damage left to live with. Sam's got 6 damage showing on table. Although he doesn't want to kill Vader. Oh, I guess he is. He's going to kill Vader to do it.
I mean, he could just do 4. Yeah, he kills Vader. Kills Vader to kill Kanan. I mean, there's not margin of victory in this game. It's a win and a loss. A win's a win, and that gets it done quicker.
And now he's got to mitigate both those damage dice he's looking at her. That's game.
Which he doesn't. And there's the 1, 2, and that's game. 7 minutes, 45 seconds in the round. Darth Samwise coming out ahead of Antonio here at the Walker Classic Round 4 2017 in Denver, Colorado.